Hello again. Data and data analysis has come a long way since the days of paper graphs and paper training diaries, which is what I used to do 30 or 40 years ago when I started running and then moved into cycling. And nowadays we can record vast amounts of information on our watches, our head units, and even on our mobile phones. And then we can analyse all that data on the computer or even on the phone. But are we any better off? Well, yeah, I think we are better off, because choosing some key metrics and looking at those can be very helpful and useful. So I've broken it down into 5 different categories of metrics. Stress, which is the load that you apply to yourself, so that might be the power or the pace or the amount of time that you're training for, and that's because that's an external load that you put in on your body. And then strain is how your body reacts to that load. So that might be your heart rate, how you feel, how hard it feels, and that type of thing. So that would be the strain. So the stress causes the strain. And the amount of strain that a certain amount of stress causes, how your body responds to a certain load, can be very useful to know. It can tell you how fit you're getting, how you're getting fitter, but it can also tell you how tired you're getting, because if you respond in an abnormal way, then that can show you that it's time to take a break. Particularly comparing subjective metrics with objective metrics, so how hard does it feel to work at a certain power? When that changes, if it feels harder to work at your normal sort of endurance pace, that's an indication that you're tired and you should probably do something about it. And then thirdly, goals. How are you progressing against the goals? Progress. So goals are the metrics. It might be trying to improve your FTP, it might be trying to reduce the heart rate drift in a 2-hour session on your indoor trainer at a certain power, in a certain erg mode power. See whether your heart rate drifts. That can be a great way to test your endurance. And then I've got what I call status. So that's basically what's the condition of your body at any given time. What's your weight? That might be a status. What's your heart rate variability when you wake up in the morning? What's your resting heart rate? These sort of things. How do you feel when you get up in the morning? The subjective metrics. How grumpy are you? What's your mood like? How fatigued do you feel? These are all indications of what state you're in, how your body is coping in general with the training that you're applying to it. And then finally, metrics that relate to lifestyle, like nutrition. Are you getting the right macronutrients? Are you drinking too much alcohol? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you under too much work stress? Can you reduce the amount of stress that you're having to experience and therefore improve your recovery? Are you concentrating enough on recovery? These are sort of lifestyle factors. So if you have a good lifestyle, you can recover faster, therefore you can train harder, and therefore you'll perform better. So putting these 5 things together, you apply a certain training stress that causes a certain strain, mental strain and physiological strain, like your heart rate responds in a certain way, and that causes a change in status and hopefully results in improvement against your goals. A change in status in a positive direction might be improvement against your goals, and your lifestyle supports that process. So the thing to do is find some metrics that are relevant to you and your goals that fit into each of these categories, and then you can monitor them and see how things change. Look for trends, look for positive trends, negative trends. Then you can look for causes of things that are going wrong and causes of things that are going right. Keep doing the things that are causing positive trends and try to stop doing the things that are causing negative trends. A simple example might be to try and improve your FTP. So if you want to improve your FTP, you'd do some intervals around about your FTP, some a bit harder perhaps, around about your maximal aerobic powers. And you do as much volume as you could manage without compromising those higher intensity training sessions. So that would be the stress that you're putting on your system. Your body would react in a certain way. You could look at your heart rate zones, your time in your heart rate zones, look at your heart rate when you're doing your interval sessions. Is it about the right sort of level if you're training to do, if you're doing your sort of typical 4x8 minutes, the threshold session, is your heart rate gradually drifting towards your lactate threshold heart rate? In the last one, it should perhaps be a little bit above, because 8 minutes it might be a little bit, maybe 102% of your FTP, for instance. Your heart rate might drift a bit higher than the lactate threshold heart rate. So that would be the strain on your body. Look at your chronic training load, your acute training load, and your training stress balance. And of course, test your FTP. You need to test your FTP at the start, test it after maybe 6 weeks, test it after another 6 weeks. If it's improving, then you know you're doing the right thing. If it's not improving, you know you're doing the wrong things, so you look at your metrics and see what you need to change to make things happen in the way that you want them. And of course, during this process, you want to have process goals. And the process goals should support your development of fitness, like checking your heart rate variability every morning, making sure you get 8 hours sleep, trying not to drink too much alcohol. The better your lifestyle, the better your training. Anyway, so metrics, there's loads of metrics. Just pick a few, focus on them, look for the trends, and you should improve. Let me know how you get on, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.